Hey everybody, it's Michael from Nagios, and today I'll be going over how to set up and configure the SLA wizard within Nagios XI. SLAs help define the expected level of service between a provider and its users. This can include things like uptime or response time, and by configuring the SLA wizard within Nagios XI, you'll be able to ensure that your infrastructure is always meeting these availability targets, whether that be with your hosts, service, host groups, or service groups. Now let's take a look into the Nagios XI homepage to see how to get started. Now this tutorial can be done in both the modern and Neptune themes within Nagios XI. If you'd like to see it done in modern, please skip to the timestamp, or follow along here to see it done in Neptune. From the main Neptune homepage, you can go to the settings icon on the left and select Configuration Wizards. Here you can scroll through or search for the SLA wizard, where you'll be met with several options. First, the report period, which determines the time frame the report will be ran over, as well as several advanced settings. First, you can assume the state retention, as well as assume states during program downtime, which help determines what happens during times of no data or downtime. Additionally, you can assume initial states, as well as whether to include soft states, which are states that have changed but haven't had rechecks run to determine if the issue is persisting. And finally, you can choose to include first assumed host state, as well as first assumed service states. And when done, hit Next. Here you can change the name of your host, as well as determine what the SLA will be ran on. You could run it on a host, and have the uptime warning be something like 70%, and the critical threshold be 75%. Alternatively, you could run it on a service, such as memory usage. And if you have them, you could run an SLA on a host group or service group. And when done, hit Next. Here, you'll be able to see the default monitoring settings for the host. By default, it'll check it every 1440 minutes, which is once every 24 hours. And if a problem is detected, it'll recheck the host every 288 minutes up to 5 times before changing its state and sending a notification. You can change any of these numbers, but for the tutorial, I'll just keep them all default. On this screen, you'll be able to see what happens to a notification if a problem is detected. By default, it'll send one out immediately, but you can choose to not send one, or to wait a certain amount of time before sending one, and additionally, to continuously send one if the problem is persisting. You can also include a contact or a contact group that will also receive the notification. And finally, you can add this host to a host group or a parent host if desired. And when you're done, you can hit Finish and Apply. And you should be able to see your host on the host status screen. In order to switch your theme, you can go to the settings icon on the top right and select Account Settings. Here you can scroll down to User Interface Theme and select the theme you want to change to. I'll select Modern Dark. You then can update settings, and your theme will be changed. From the Modern Dark XI homepage, you can go to the Configure tab at the top and select Configuration Wizards. From here, you can search for or scroll through to find the SLA wizard and select. You should be able to see the report period, which determines how far back the SLA report is ran, as well as assume the state retention, assume states during downtime, assume the initial state, as well as include soft states. You can also assume the first host state, as well as service state. And when you're done, you can hit Next. On this page, you should be able to set the name of your host, as well as see the hosts, services, host group, and service group that you can all run an SLA on. So for localhost, you can have a warning at 70% uptime, and critical at 75%. And for a service, you can have something like memory usage be tracked, having 75% be a warning, and 80% be critical. And when done, you can hit next. Here you'll see the default monitoring screen, which will determine when the host will be monitored and what happens if a problem is detected. By default, it'll check the host every 1440 minutes, which is once every 24 hours. Then if a problem is detected, it'll recheck the host every 288 minutes up to 5 times before changing its state and sending a notification. Here you can see the notification screen for what happens if a problem is detected. You can choose to not send out any, to send one out immediately, or to wait a certain amount of time before sending it out. Additionally, if the problem is persisting, you can send one out in increments. You can additionally select a contact or contact group to send a notification to. And finally, you can choose a host group or parent host to attach this host to. And when done, you can hit Finish and Apply, and view the status details for your SLA. And that's it. You've successfully set up and configured the SLA wizard within Nagios XI. If you enjoyed the video, please check out our YouTube channel for more content. And if you need help with any of our products, visit support.nagios.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on monitoring.